Do you judge a man by his drink order in general?
I do.
Yeah?
Actually, I say that, except when our husbands went out, they both ordered extremely feminine drinks. But if it wasn't,
you were drinking tequila and soda, and I was drinking a martini.
All right. Well, first of all, welcome to the Behind the Table podcast. We're here with both Alyssa and Sara. This is very exciting.
This is fun.
We tried the double. We have more hosts and spots in the week. So last week we doubled up with Joy and Sunny as an attempt to get everybody in the week. Now we're trying the Wonder Twins here, and then we'll switch it.
We'll
switch it.
Yeah, we have a nickname and everything.
love it.
Powers activate. And we'll.
I feel like I'm Danny DeVito and she's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, so we were just talking about whether you judge a man by his drink order. So for me, I have to be honest, this was a thing for me for a long time because I felt I would sometimes order drinks I didn't enjoy to seem more masculine. And that's weak. I know that. I apologize now, and I won't do it now. But I would order a Manhattan or an old fashioned,
like a scotch on the rocks or something.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. I'm going to name drop a little bit. I was once in a position where I was at a party with the Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli.
Okay.
And they were drinking scotch, and I just was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll have.
Oh, that probably burned a hole down your throat.
Right.
All the way down the esophagus.
I ended by getting sick in the alley next door, and God knows what I said at that lunch, but I looked cool in the process.
Cool before then.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is, again, I order martinis. Max will often get a spritz.
He's a cocktail guy.
He is a
Max.
cocktail guy,
Yes.
and he drinks some pretty hard cocktails. So when he does the spritz, they always try to give it to me. I don't typically always judge other people's drinks, but I do find I have one judgment. Growing up in a place where beer was what you drank, when people say, oh, I don't drink beer, I'm like, I don't know if we can hang out.
Yeah.
I don't have beer all the time, but if you don't have a beer event in your life that you're like, I want that cold beer, then I don't know if we can, I don't know how much we're going to have in common.
I agree, especially a man. Like a man who doesn't drink beer, that would be such a red flag to
I
me.
enjoy beer.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be your go-to.
No, it just has to be had.
Justin tends to be a masculine drinker because I do judge what people order. Though, as I was saying, like when we've gotten drinks, he's gotten the fruitiest, girly ones with Max. So occasionally he will, which doesn't bother me because he's my husband. But if it was like a first date and a guy got something with an umbrella and with fruit on the side,
I'll have
I'd
a
be
Mai
like,
Tai.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Brian follows the Manning brothers. Justin follows Max.
Yeah,
Do better, Justin.
It's very concerning. But this kind of actually goes back to the conversation we were having before about what you look for in a date and a man. There was a conversation on the show today about a new dating trend called Shreking. And the idea behind this, I guess, follows the plot of the movie Shrek, where...
Or misses the
whole point.
The story.
The idea that, if someone's not attractive, they probably make up for it in other ways. And if they're very attractive, they're probably jerks, is basically the feeling. So... You guys, Alyssa brought up the point, they missed the point of the movie Shrek, and the idea was that you get to know them and then discover the things, but maybe you don't give them a chance is the issue, I guess.
We've all walked out of a room or something or met someone when you walk out and you're like, I am strangely attracted to that. It doesn't have to be in our job or what we do. It could be a parent at a PTO me. I don't know. Like
Joy finds Larry David very attractive.
Yes. Well, again,
though, he's so funny.
What attracts you? I think there's something inside. I hate you overusing the term Riz, but those people that walk into a room that if you saw them on a headshot, like in front of you, you may not understand them, but they walk in and you're like, oh, hi.
That's kind of my whole gripe with dating apps, because I definitely went on like a one date with guys who were very handsome, but they lacked confidence, personality. Like you cannot overcome that. And I also think that it's just a very dumb myth that if you're less attractive, therefore you're nicer. I mean, unattractive men can be mean, handsome men can be mean.
Well, and the way you treat people is more deeply rooted in how confident you are in your own skin. If I think they're saying is they want a needy person.
Yeah, and
that's not sexy.
That doesn't make a good
no matter
partner.
what packaging it comes in.
Correct.
I'm needy though, so I'm the exception.
For the record, one use of the word Riz is overusing it for you. I just want to point that out. Yeah, definitely.
Joy learned it and now uses it.
Joy can use it as much as she wants. That cracks
Alec
me up.
called me cringe, so I get it. Okay.
I think I overuse cringe, actually. But a lot of things are cringy these days.
There is nothing that drives my daughters more crazy when I try to use their slang in public. It's the most fun thing in the world to do to embarrass them. My youngest was telling me to clock this recently or something.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Like to register it.
I guess so. Like,
okay.
But and so now I just keep yelling that, hey Lily, clock this while we're walking down the street. It's
Or
great.
do they ever say POV, point of view? Like Alec will start something. He's like, okay, POV.
Wait, that's so cute.
It's cute, but I'm like, what the
I wonder.
I don't even know if he's using it properly. But then the other thing is, have you heard the 6'7"?
6'7"?
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm standing in a group of adults the other day, and I was trying to remember what year Alec had started something. I said, I think he was 6 or 7. I go, 6'7". And everyone looked at me. I thought, I just wasted that. It was such a good use of it, and Alec wasn't there to witness it.
Like, look how cool mom is.
I'm so cool.
I'm getting a note from the control room to explain 6'7". The problem is no one actually understands it.
I don't
right?
think I know that
So
one.
6'7", what I understand it to be is it's this guy that created this energy drink, and the viral moment is he says something like 6'7", and it's like really about nothing.
Yeah, kids
it's as dumb as
work
it
it into
sounds.
conversation constantly now.
They
It's like,
had to block it from my child's classroom.
Yeah.
They are
Really?
not allowed to say 6'7".
Oh my goodness. Wait, I stumbled on a horrifying fact recently. I might have already told you this. Did you know that the time Hit Me Baby One More Time came out to now is equidistant to like the height of the Beatles to our childhood? So like our music, like 90s music is oldies.
yeah.
So like if you turn on an oldies station,
That
does it
offends
play
me. It
like in
offends me
sync?
when it happens. If you're playing classic, if it does not involve Stevie Nicks
Correct.
and the Eagles, but don't throw in my.
But like I think I'm cool because I listen to like what I think is cool, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't know most of the top 40 right now.
No, it's oldies now.
Yeah.
Again, having daughters are keeping me a little bit younger.
Yeah, it
and-
helps.
very little.
And
Yeah.
thank God Taylor Swift's been around for like 20 years, so I know one person who's like
Yeah.
continually relevant.
No, it's very tricky. They've done a nice job. They don't call it oldies anymore. They just do
do
decades.
decades.
So I can
True.
listen to
Oh,
90s on
that-
9.
yeah. That helps me. I
That
don't mind
helps.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not oldies.
Yeah.
No, but by the same token, like the Back to the Future movies, if you went back as far back as they go to 1955 and Back to the Future, if you did that now, you'd go back to 10 years before the movie was made.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
weird.
Why do you guys endorse these
I
kind
know.
of weird math?
I know.
I think about it all the time.
Let's all go home and moisturize tonight.
All right.
Use my eye patches.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Now we're going to get to important stuff eventually. But Alyssa, you were in Nantucket this weekend for a wedding, and I heard that
So cute, that picture.
you stayed out much later at the reception for one reason. Why was this?
Okay, I was tired. I'm a known Irish Exeter, and a lot of times my husband will stay at events longer than me. But okay, dating out there is tough. It's tough for a single person. I noticed girls were flirting with my husband, and I was like, I can't leave him unattended. Not because I don't trust him, but I just want the ability to go and be like, no, or just pull him away and make him dance with me. It was unbelievable. I'd never seen anything like it, and he is friendly, so it
Yeah.
comes off flirty.
Sure.
It was unbelievable.
And they were single? Or
I
you-
yes, because that's the first thing I looked. I was like, oh, maybe they're just married girls who were really friendly. I was like, oh,
Star
no.
for conversation.
No
Yeah.
ring.
Where I thought that story was going, which was really cute, is I know how hard it is out there, and they seem to be really happy with Justin, so I couldn't take him away from them. I thought you were like,
Oh no! It was
did
like he was on my
this one's
schedule.
for the girls.
Yeah. No, I was prepared to reel him home with me.
And these are multiple people.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
I think it is. He's more outgoing than I am in social settings, and my battery was drained, and his was not. And I was like, well, I got to keep an eye on
His
him.
battery was being
Yeah, he
fed
was
by
just
all the
going.
attention he was getting.
I was at a wedding with both of you, and you both bailed early, and it was really disappointing.
I
they
like
fail
to
that
leave people wanting more, and I
Sure.
like to leave at a high point because I used to stay too long, and you don't want to leave when it's like
Right.
we've had enough of
You
you.
always
understand.
want to leave wanting a little more.
What is Max like at a wedding?
He's adorable because we love dancing.
Yeah.
So he's great. Like we both love that kind of event.
I feel like Max, even at a wedding, is like surgically looking for intense conversation with people at all times.
Well, usually he finds Justin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't mind
No,
it. I
he's
just think it's like,
it's funny. His family is so different from mine, and I sometimes think it's cultural. I don't know. Being in the Midwest, when I talk to my parents still to this day, I want to know how their day is going. I want to know, like with my mom, how's she feeling today? Everything right? What's dad doing? Did he golf? I want to know life. Max sits down with his parents and they go straight for the jugular. Babushka's in our house for 5 minutes and they're going into political disarray on everything. And it is in Russian. It sounds even worse.
I bet.
So
Oh
it's
yeah, I
just
forget
like,
they speak Russian.
oh,
Yeah.
and that is a hard language.
Yes.
Like,
Have the kids picked up any words?
my mother-in-law will teach Sandra, and it's cute because I don't know if she has an accent when she speaks. It all sounds, it's all foreign to me. But they swear Sandra has a natural sound in Russian. And I was like, well, there's that.
There she goes.
There you go.
So cute.
Yeah.
All right. She's going to become an asset.
Right, I know exactly.
Well, you
Beautiful
remember
girl who speaks Russian.
when I
Very
sat
helpful.
with Alec? Do you remember the time I told you the story? He had the what's the illness when you have to steam the room out? Kids get it a lot.
Colds?
It might have been a cold,
But like
we'll
something
go
like
with
that.
that.
Yeah.
We'll
But
go with
do you
cold.
remember the song I made up about Max's mother-in-law? We're both, you know,
I don't.
when you have one child, Max is in there, I'm in there as the kid, we're doing this, and I was like, your babushka works for the KGB, and I was trying to rock him, and I was coming up with, and Max was like,
he's going to repeat
what
this
are
at
you
school.
singing to our child?
They're listening.
It is amazing if a kid can hear another language growing
But
up.
I was watching The Americans at the time, so
Such
Well,
a
that'll
good
do
show.
it. Yeah.
explicable.
All right. Oh, good.
My only criticism, it's an excellent show. It got sad. I wanted them to be together and love each other. I'm like, if you're gonna plot against America and root for
But
the
they were
Russians,
in real life.
at least love each other and have that going.
They got together in real life.
That's true. Actually, they're
so
still
it all
married,
worked
I
out.
think.
Yeah, it all worked out. All right. So I wanted to talk. We're going to switch gears here and talk about something serious because in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, we've been talking about a lot of different angles on it. And one thing we brought up briefly today that the governor of Utah was talking about was the fact that social media is in so many ways a cancer. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I'm very much online. I think, Alyssa, you are too.
I am. I'm very online.
You are too. You've kind of walked away.
Well, I've definitely walked away from X in some of the worst places. I can't. I just can't do it.
You're definitely still, you're Instagramming and you're
Yeah.
motivational and, for
Things
those who
I
still
wanna consume
really need
and
to hear
see.
something,
Yeah.
you're there for them. But whoever it is.
Yes. No, but I think the problem with social media is we always talk about, and we're a show that has conversations.
Yeah.
People want to be reaffirmed, whatever their belief is. They want someone to say, you are so right.
Yes.
That's exactly what the algorithm does. Mm-hmm. So people are going to the loudest echo chamber, the most singular moment where no one is going to contradict or point back. It is just going to enrage people and feed them all that stuff. Nobody is built strong enough to, the engineers themselves say, this is why our kids won't go near this.
Well, and I think also just the fact, and a warning to people listening to this, the footage that we were seeing, the fact that on social media for a while, and I'm sure it's still there. I'm glad some outlets like TikTok have chosen to take it down. But of the attack on Charlie Kirk, it is not the Utah governor said that it's not within the human soul and inhumanity to see that and to process it and for it to be normal. Yeah. And I think that there's this problem we've run into in the era of school shootings and mass violence where you almost are so conditioned to seeing it and hearing about it. It's almost like it's a video game. And that's why I was there's plenty of people, there's so many people who have criticisms of Charlie Kirk, disagreed with him on things, but I just don't want people to forget his humanity. Mm-hmm. No one deserves that moment. No one deserves for their family to see that. And I've encouraged it in conversations I've had with people is just check in on your own heart if there's anything in your mind that's justifying it or making light of it, because I did see that, and it was mostly young people.
I said the same thing. There's a demographic of young people.
There's all these TikTok videos, and I'm like, I have to believe it's the algorithm that has broken their judgment and humanity to think this is something to make light of, because nothing about it is funny.
No, it's horrible. And I wish I didn't see that video. I saw it right after it happened, and I can't get it out of my head.
It was highly just
awful.
Irresponsible of X and the platforms that it was able to be up as long as it was.
Well, and I think just to echo the warning to anyone listening is one thing is if you have to dig deep and compare beliefs, there are a lot of things I did not agree with. But if that's where your head goes when you hear, or I never saw the video and I will not watch it, but hearing what happens, if you don't have a knee-jerk human response, you definitely need to look inside.
Yeah, no,
because
of course.
the conversations around this, the Mangione, I was more shocked at these losses and these violent attacks. I was more shocked by the response of some
because it's not
people.
real to people. They're not looking at it in a human way.
It
feels removed from it, and again, we don't know very much, but it seems like the shooter themselves, the suspected shooter themselves, was very much down the deepest parts of the internet, and I think that you do get shellacked to human emotion for these things.
You get desensitized,
You do.
which is the danger of a lot of not only.
And when
the
we were kids, they talked about that from video games, even in the old days, and they talked about it from music and violence on television. And I always kind of shrugged my shoulders at a lot of it,
Yeah.
But
But I think it's a combination.
Yeah.
It's not
It
one
is.
lane.
It is, yeah.
Because when you look at all of it, from social media to technology to, everything we're hearing about him was somewhat seemingly, there's not one massive red flag, except for his lack of consumption of the social part. It's when your presence is an online one, that is a machine. That is not people.
And there is
not
joy,
connecting with
there
people.
is joy to be found on social media. I mean, I sit literally communicate with my wife through memes that make us smile and laugh.
There are
about
studies
dogs
that show that's a good relationship.
Oh, great.
Yes.
All right. Well,
and by the way, like even if you took the social media and the technology out of it, it is not a normal state of being in our politics and our country that if you disagree with somebody's viewpoints or if you're offended by their viewpoints, that you have to hate them. The whole concept of dialogue in a democracy is that you could try to engage them. You could try to respectfully disagree. You can even find the points where you do agree or there's shared humanity on different things. And that's, I mean, Joe Manchin kind of got to this today, but that's where we have to be able to look beyond just like, oh, well, this is your policy viewpoint. This is whatever. People are they're more than just any one thing.
But I would also argue in the last few elections, massive elections we've seen, the one glaring fact was it was less about people winning on come with me, these ideas, and more common enemy.
Yep.
Like people were better at weaponizing what we were up against rather
cultivating
than
outrage.
what we're for.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the governor said something similar to that too.
Yeah.
But it's an outrage culture, and you're looking, and also when a tragedy strikes, you want someone to feel what you're feeling and to help focus the outrage.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it too. Again, like I said before, we actually have no idea what the motives were in this shooting at all
we
yet.
don't.
But that's also one of the scariest, most frustrating things about the internet is because all weekend, and I found myself doing this too, diving down, trying to figure out what do we know and what do we think.
Because you want to make sense of it because it's scary and it's horrifying.
And people jump to non-verified fact to non-verified fact. There were at least 4 or 5 different complete theories that seemed good to me 6 or 7 times this weekend, and some that seemed ridiculous.
I want to know information. I'm waiting to find out what law enforcement has because I am not, based on what's publicly available, deeply convinced of any of the theories out there. We need to know more, but this rush to be like, we need to point and decide which team is responsible, it's so counterproductive. Like just let the investigation play out, wait until we know something, and then figure out what we can learn from it.
I always gut check. I don't wait for someone to sum up what happened and say, and this is what when they tell me what they know, I'm having my own reaction to things and private conversations, not public, not on Facebook, but with people I love about do you think this or what could be here? But if you are seeking all your information on TikTok or online, I would again warn you, you need to go to real facts. You need to go to real data and trustworthy places.
And sometimes, by the way, the answer is not going to be satisfactory. The first Trump assassination attempt, the guy had given to Act Blue, like noted Democratic fundraising platform. He'd voted or was a registered Republican. And we know that he'd also canvassed potential Biden events. So it's like, that doesn't definitively answer any question for me other than that he wanted to kill Donald Trump that
We still
day.
don't know very much.
So we may be left with simply, this man wanted to assassinate Charlie Kirk. We might not get a lot more answers than that, but we should at least take the lesson from that of what can we do to change the environment with the voices that we have so that this doesn't happen again.
Going back really quickly to the social media aspect of it. So your kids, you've been able to keep them off everything so far.
Oh, heck yeah. And we're big Jonathan Haidt people, which is the anxious generation.
I think he's going to come on for either
his new book.
He's phenomenal. And what he taught us is, Max and I said, we know we're going to be up against a lot. We know there are going to be other families. Yep.
It gets
but
harder.
What we're doing is we're really clinging to those people that are family friends with older kids that are doing the same things. So we have some examples of people they already look up to and admire doing the same part. We're very active in our church right now. We're trying to keep those kids connected to the heartbeat of what life is about and keep them off of. And it's still easier for me.
Yeah, when you get to middle school, it gets harder.
So what I want to caveat that is not to judge someone that has kids that are much harder to control. They're still young. But this is one thing Max and I align so full. Because one thing that when we were dating, I remember we were sitting with Max's best friend not dating, sorry. We were all married. No one had kids. And we were watching a family at a restaurant and they had all the screens up and everything. And I remember we all sat around conveniently without kids. We're not going to do that.
I know.
Weirdly, though, there are some things you stick to. That was something we stuck to. And we said we will not allow the moments we can have conversation and talk and interact. We will not allow any digital device to come between us. So, and then we failed at 1,000 other things. So
I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yes.
I'm going to learn from you and how you can do this. I do. My kids aren't on TikTok. They aren't on anything except my oldest has a parentally managed Instagram account.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, like everything's approved and stuff like that, and you know who talks to her and all that kind of stuff. And I see everything she posts, and it's all innocuous. But you know, she's looking at reels.
How do you feel? I mean, you don't have to tell personally if you're not comfortable, but like keeping when they're older, keeping the phone out of the bedroom at night.
Yeah,
I think that's very important.
They both
like charge them downstairs.
And out. I mean, a couple times I've looked
I'm
late
sure
and I'm like, wait a minute, where is this? And oh, I fell asleep. And I'm like, okay.
That's a big thing I've heard with friends with older kids is like they have to keep them in neutral places.
Yes. All right. So there was a story today that caught my attention about the magic phrase that experts say will save your marriage. And it's, can you take the mental lead on this one? That's the phrase. Can you take the mental lead on this one? I don't think I've ever said that, but basically it's not just handing off a chore to your spouse. It's taking full responsibility over a household decision or task.
Yep.
I can definitely relate to this. What about you guys?
I related to the language of it because I've never said it, of course, but hearing that phrase can be pivotal, I thought about it and I was like, you're right, because you know how you look and you say, Max, can you do this? Sometimes that triggers these responses of what you're acting like I don't do, you know, like, but when you say, can you take this? You're saying, take the whole load off my plate.
Yeah.
I don't need to be checked in on, like I just take it off my plate. It's so clear.
I love it. I don't know that we've used this exact phrase, but we've technically kind of used it in communication. But right now we're both failing on it. So our registration expired like a week ago.
Oh, that sucks.
And we have been punting the mental lead on registering our car back and forth. And
like a hot potato. You take it.
I'm like, we're never going to be able to drive a car again if somebody does it. But I did last night to Justin. I was like, I have too much on my plate. Can you please just own this from start to finish? She was like, oh my gosh, of course. I think sometimes communicating to a partner, like, I need your help, as opposed to like, it can almost come off like, you're not doing as much as me do this if you don't communicate.
There's a narrative of like, why are you asking me? But
I trust you with this chore.
Yes.
This is triggering me because about a month ago, both of our registrations were up. And I said, okay, let's each take our car and drive the other one back to do this. So I took her car, picked her up, drove her back. And then I said, okay, we have to take my car. And she's like, actually, I have something I have to do. And
Can you take the mental load on this guy?
It took 2 months. She never came with me. And I had to sit at the car place for like an hour and a half while they did the registration of my car. It was very frustrating.
Yes.
Thanks, Heather. No, I think it's a good thing. It's funny. I've been married a long time, longer than both of you.
Yeah.
And now it's automatic. There are things that she takes the lead on and there are things that I take the lead on. And like, for instance, with our daughters, you know, scheduling dance classes and activities and Broadway and music and all that. She does all of that. And it's a lot. Yeah. Actually, really, she takes the lead on school, making sure the homework gets done. I'm a participant, but more on the sidelines. And then I, you know, take care of a lot of the other like movement on our financial stuff and planning trips and things like that. And it's just, we've kind of just fallen into our little buckets.
It's good when you start to figure out who kind of is better at what role and it more naturally comes.
I take the garbage out.
So we're still working through that one.
Yeah, but it was funny, like the mental load line is still hitting me because this weekend we were going to, Caleb had his soccer game. The whole family's in the car. I brought the chairs. We're getting out and we're late. We hit this traffic and the coach was very clear. So I'm getting the kids. They're all walking with me. I'm grabbing hands. I'm grabbing chairs. And Max is like, do you think I should like pull up and around? I go, boo, figured out.
Yeah,
like what?
Exactly.
I can't take the load on everything. I literally have the physical load, the 3 living humans. You have the car, park it. Like
okay, what I also like about it is it's saying, could you please do this task to completion? Which I like saying it this way, mental lead better, because that's the thing. My husband he's a better strategy, big picture guy than I am. And he's good at planning things. But oftentimes the like final line execution isn't always there. So I like that definitively saying like, oh no, you don't get to just be the good idea fairy. Like you have to do this to completion.
This is your task.
All the way in.
All the way.
Take the ball all the way.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
I do still think he thinks that like groceries just materialize in the house. Like they just show
Well, I
up.
sometimes ask Max, I was like, you know, like, how did you get mouthwash when you were single? Like,
yeah,
you've been out, and if I weren't looking over at your side saying he needs deodorant, he needs this, he's like, I was on my own for a long time. I was like, were you stinky? Because I don't know how you get this stuff. Like,
All right, before we go, let's talk about this show that is very popular in my family with both my daughters
and Alyssa's family.
And my family.
The Summer I Turned Pretty. The show is a massive hit. It's about a teen love triangle between the main character, Belly, and two brothers. I have not watched this, so I'm doing the best I can. But would either of you date brothers?
No.
I have dated. I come from a small town.
There weren't many options.
Do you know how many people dated through us? My sister's homecoming date was my homecoming date the next year. People dated sisters. We dated brothers. We did it all. My sister was literally dating one brother while my other sister was dating another brother.
But that's kind of romantic.
Kind of cute. It
the
didn't
shared
last, but
brothers that I have a harder time with.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like you got to look at situational options.
You look at the options.
All right, but
small town, it works.
Haven't you ever heard it? Like, keep it in the family.
Yeah, there's
That's
another
not
part
what
of
that
that.
means.
There's another part of that. Okay, so you dated brothers.
Well, I mean, I have dated. I'm trying to think of the exact example of brother. Not seriously.
Were there jealousies involved? I would think that would be.
Well,
like
that's
a-
what
I would
jealousies
think.
with me and my sister because
Oh, yeah? You both
people
like-
dated down the Haineses, and I was the third best option, and I was the third. The next one was Joe, and so unless you were,
All right, well, okay, so I mean,
so I used to turn off her teen line. We had a swatch phone because I knew Todd would have to call,
Alyssa's
and
too young for that.
I would answer it. And I would act all annoyed because they both knew how pissed I was they were dating. And I had the crush on him and he dated Susan and all this. So she'd always like, I can't believe I didn't hear that. And I'm like, I know why you didn't hear that because your ringer's off. And I'm going to make this boy go through me first.
wow. Did you worry about like
Okay.
comparisons?
That's what I'd be afraid. Yeah.
I never asked. I don't want to know.
What about the brothers?
No, they're two very different individuals.
How
Okay.
close in age were they?
Like 4 years.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the Summer I Turned Pretty.
I know. It was one graduated and I let go of that one. And then the other one came up. And
Wait a minute, so hold on, I'm just doing the math on this because you went to homecoming with this. There's a
this is not
4-year
the-
difference, and you went to homecoming
No.
a year apart.
no, this is a different person that I'm talking about. This was the guy I had a crush on
So there are
forever.
multiple.
Again,
brothers.
there were
Iowa.
many years in this small town.
Iowa. So my husband Justin and his brother Tyler are best friends and they're business partners. They're inseparable. I'm obsessed with this show. It's nostalgia. It's perfect escapism. But I do hate the idea of a woman coming between two brothers.
Yeah.
Like, it just, to me, that's like the saddest thing. They, at least to my knowledge, have never, I don't think
You
they would
haven't
ever
asked?
let it, yeah, but now I'm going to have to go home and
Yeah.
ask.
You're
I
like,
don't think they
first
would let a
question when I
girl
get
come
home.
between them.
Yeah.
That's the one part that just seems sad
But that
to
seems
me.
that's why I think this is nostalgic. I watched season 1. I haven't seen the next 2 seasons I didn't know existed. But I think it's a youth thing. When you look back, these all happen in young years as you're immature and you're finding your way and you're realizing that someone romantic should never come between best friends or family
Right.
members, you know.
All right.
What does make it complicated, though, in Belly's defense,
Is that the older
she's-
brother's hotter?
Well, that, but although he's more, it's very complicated because I'd say season 2, I'm Team Jeremiah, but then I go back to being the older brother. But anyway, she's also like family to them. She's basically the daughter of their mom's
that make it
best
better?
friend.
She's like a little sister,
That's
so
the
we both
I
hate
know,
her.
right? Actually, that makes it weirder. But I don't feel like she's breaking up a family because she's kind of by extension part of said family. It's very
Making
complicated.
it a weirder place.
Do these brothers still speak?
What?
Do these brothers that you dated still speak?
Everyone grew
What if
out
they
of it.
haven't for years and they're like, Sara Haines is the reason?
This reminds me of like when I used to work on a different kind of daytime talk show way back in the day where
Right,
we do
who's
whole
the
shows.
dad?
Like I worked at Montel and Ricky Lake, and there was a lot of that. So I'd like to look at camera and say, if your family's been torn apart by dating Sara Haines, we want to hear from you, and we'll have you here to confront her.
I do remember
Exactly.
kissing Todd and thinking, ew, Susan kissed him too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, that would bother me. I would not kiss anyone my sister
But I mean, there were
kissed.
girls in between, so at
Yeah.
least there was fresh.
We had more
stranger lips
options,
on
I
there.
think, where I was from.
Wow. All right.
Different tastes, luckily, too. I've completely
All
different
right.
tastes.
I'm not sure we'll do this combo again, but we'll see. Thank
I
you for
can't imagine you can keep all of that.
thank you for joining me today. Both it actually just says Alyssa here, so you're not
I've
being
been
thanked.
thanking Sarah for her contribution.
Nathan, I told you were trying to get rid of me.
Thank you for joining me today, Alyssa and Sarah. Tomorrow I'll be here with joy and only joy. See you then.